Good afternoon. We are now on day 9, officially more than halfway over. We got 8 days left after today. And today is the big one, Infinity War and Endgame Day. We're going to be watching these back to back, and to further enhance my experience, I'm just going to watch them straight through. So you won't see me again until I've finished both Infinity War and Endgame, because I really want to get that. Just boom, boom. I will talk a lot about it afterwards, but in my mind, Infinity War has always been the better movie. Endgame, the bigger event. You know, we'll see if altogether if they create something bigger than itself, we'll see. It's gonna be emotional. There's going to be laughs. There's going to be tears. It's going to be all of it. See you after. And here we are at the end of day 9. 4th of July, actually. Fireworks are going off right now. And we just finished Infinity War and this little movie over here. Avengers Endgame. Thoughts on both of these films? Both of these movies are insane. The fact that they exist and the fact that they function pretty well. pretty well. And I think most people can agree that both of them function, come off, that they're good movies. Whether people love them or just like them, varies from fans and non-fans alike. Where I stand, I think I like Infinity War better as a film, on its own. Endgame, it works the best when you watch everything together, like this marathon. First off, with Infinity War, I just love how grim it is. And yes, it's got the Marvel-y elements. It's got the hero moments. It's got the cheer moments, the surprises, the big battles. But this movie is really Thanos' movie. And I love that he is essentially the protagonist of the film. It's his quest to get the Infinity Stones, and the antagonists that stand in his way are the Avengers, because the movie ends with him winning. If you look at it in that way, it's not a really grim ending at all. We were just watching the movie from Thanos' perspective, of Thanos' journey. All of the team-up moments are just built really well, both with Infinity War and Endgame. It's just all built to please. It's built to cheer. There's moments in the film where there's no dialogue and it's just a pause because it's time to cheer. That's how they built these movies. And I'm not going to shame that, because that's what these films are. They're event movies. They're not going to go for the Oscars. Maybe not what some people call cinema. Whatever that is. But they evoke emotion. I get emotional during these films, especially Endgame. Many times where I'm just outright sobbing. And that's because the film does its job. Both of them. It was really cool because I'm watching these on Disney Plus, and Disney Plus has the new enhanced ratio, the IMAX ratio option. And I've been watching, when available, watching those, and that means that select sequences, mostly action sequences or big wide shots, are with that expanded ratio, no widescreen. But Infinity War and Endgame were both shot fully on IMAX cameras, and so the entire film is just full on the screen, and it's just an awesome immersive experience. So that was kind of fun. Not really to do with the films itself, but just the experience that I had watching it. Performances are really great. Robert Downey Jr. really stands out in both of these, especially in Endgame. I could watch the scene in Endgame where he'd just been rescued by Carol Danvers and he's all skinny and sick, and he just rips into Steve. I could watch that scene over and over again. Amazing acting. I remember that would be the scene that people would refer back to back in 2019 when they were trying to get it for Oscars. Everyone was trying to get Robert Downey Jr. into the Oscars. It was kind of funny. Just because it isn't like Oscar like it's not a film or a performance that would be nominated. It's still an amazing performance. It's an amazing performance in what is not an Oscar bait movie. And those exist. Believe it or not, those exist. Chris Evans, really great. Especially in the end of Endgame, when he has this little old Steve moment and then his final moment with Peggy. Amazing. And even though both of these films are very long, I think for the most part, every second is filled with something. With thrills, with excitement, with tension, with quips, jokes, action, all of it. It's just filled to the brim of stuff. There is some moments, and I'll say mostly in Infinity War, where there's a little bit of dead space that I wish it had picked up a little bit more. But that kind of adds to the somber kind of funeral procession tone that the film has. The whole film is a funeral procession because maybe you don't know going in if you haven't seen it, but like Thanos is going to win at the end. And it's just loss after loss after loss, slowly going, to the Avengers' grave, especially mirrored in that final scene where Thanos just slowly walks up to that really like horror-esque music to get Vision. And yeah, Endgame, so many just moments that, watching through this whole marathon that they just pay off in special ways with Cap lifting Mjolnir. Going back to Thor: The Dark World with Frigga, Tony Stark's entire arc. There are just so many moments that have been built up for 10 plus years. And they're paid off in that movie. And it's so great. And it sets up a lot, actually. Sam Wilson becoming Captain America, or at least getting the shield. And, eventually going to become Captain America. Wanda and Hawkeye, the events of this film set up their series. And I guess Eternals kind of is set up by this. In kind of a weird roundabout way. But, anyways, that is day 9. Infinity War Endgame. You'd think that's the climactic conclusion, but no. We're only halfway there. Halfway there. A little more than halfway there. And now we're into all the new stuff. So tomorrow, we are getting into a new chapter called The New Guys. And tomorrow, we are going to be watching Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And a film I just mentioned earlier, Eternals. I have not gone back to Shang-Chi since it came out. I have watched Eternals once, several months ago. I'm very excited to get back to Shang-Chi because that was just a really fun time. Great action pieces, set pieces, great chemistry with the cast. Eternals, maybe not as excited just because it's a long one. And we're still just a little confused at where it's at. We'll talk about it more tomorrow. But, yeah. Good job, me, on today. And making it this far. I'm proud of myself. But the job is only halfway done. We got all these TV shows and new movies to get to. So I'm going to hit the sack and prepare for tomorrow.